Hey, good afternoon, or no, actually, good morning. I wanted to talk about something that maybe will help put things into perspective a little bit differently for you. Um, when anybody thinks of an abusive relationship, they usually think of physical, like black eyes or, hitting somebody or whatever, an abusive relationship. But I would guess that that's not the majority of them. Because, see, people get pretty smart about hitting people, that you leave evidence that, that you're abusive. So, most of the abuse is done verbally and emotionally to somebody in relationships. And those are things you can't see. So, it's much easier to get away with. Much easier. And you can't just call the police and say, he's emotionally and verbally abusing me. Police want evidence, and evidence is physical. Unless they write something down and say they're going to kill you, I mean, you don't have much of anything. It has to be physical. And most of these people, they're not dumb. So, and those are the most dangerous ones, the ones who aren't stupid, the ones who realize that, hitting somebody is going to get me in trouble and I'll end up in jail. So, your abusers are highly intelligent, a lot of them. Highly intelligent. And people don't realize that at all. They think that, well, if you're smart, you would know better. There's a different kind of smart. There's book smarts, there's common sense smarts, there's, you're vocally intelligent, meaning you can communicate very well. There's people who are highly intelligent who can work with their hands and build things that you and I could never imagine building, but they can't talk very well or communicate very well. There are different types of smarts, okay? I'm talking about all those different types of smart people, highly intelligent people in their particular gift, can still be very abusive people to people in their personal lives. When you go behind the door and you shut the door and you live with somebody like that, behind the door is a whole different world than when you open the door. I'm not a very, I've told y'all, I'm a loner. I don't, I'm not a very social person. It doesn't mean I don't go and do social things. I do. But I'm very comfortable being alone. I do need alone time. I'm not saying I want to be alone all the time. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I don't need to be surrounded by people. And when you're in an abusive relationship and you actually look forward to holidays and people coming over that you don't necessarily, they aren't your favorite, because the person that you live with, the abuser, is going to be on their best behavior, and you get a break for the weekend, or you get a break for the week, because only in the bedroom, when the door's shut and wherever you're staying, you might hear a few snide remarks or whatever, but overall you'll get a weekend of peace or a week of peace. And there's no telling anybody. There's no really telling anybody, because what the person, the abuser, presents to the world is far different than what they present to you. So everybody thinks, you know, if they're really good at it, people think they're pretty wonderful. Now, there are people out there that'll pick up on it, and, you know, usually the people you like, and they don't want anything to do with him, therefore you can't hang around with the better people, the ones who notice, or get a feeling that, you know, their gut feeling that something's not right with him or her. But, you know, the emotional and verbal abuse that goes on in this world to partners and children is just probably off the charts, I would guess. Because since our families have fallen apart, and we all mostly, not all of us, but too big a majority to, you know, wrap your mind around, come from dysfunctional households. I'm not talking about people with, you know, a personality quirk or whatever, or, you know, there's no parents that are perfect. But I'm talking about coming from a home where one or both are verbally and emotionally abusive to the children. And they grow up to act the same way. Somehow there is, you know, and people would say, well, you know, they don't really have a choice. They, you know, they don't, but they see what they do. You have to remember how you felt when your parents or whomever did it to you. Or your partner does it to you and then you do it to the children. There can't be that much of a disconnect. Eventually it becomes a choice. I guess it's like that group mentality. You just join them. I don't know what that is. You know, people want to feel sorry for people because they came from bad childhoods and, you know, they were abused or whatever. It depends on the level of abuse, but, I mean, if the child reaches adulthood, there has to come a point where you want to be better than where you came from. There has to be a choice. We were given free will. There has to be a choice. Unless you're just so mentally broken. And then, of course, you know, our mental, psychological realm in our world of helping people is skewed. But what I'm leading to is that, and I'm not in anything like that now, and I can only speak about it because it is experience. We are in a very abusive relationship in our countries. And we're being emotionally and verbally abused. And Australia, now they're being physically abused. Shot at with those gigantic rubber bullets that can crack your skull. Or one man was hit in his testicles and they exploded in another incident years back. But yeah, those rubber bullets can kill you. So we're in a very abusive relationship with the people who are in charge of us, and we're allowing it, and we're not making a choice to think for ourselves and stand on our own and pull ourselves up out of this really bad relationship. And we're, as a whole, psychologically listening, trying to please our parents or trying to please our partner. If I just do this, you know, they'll be nicer to me today. if I just don't cause any problems, if I just put this on my face, if I just, you know, work out, or I just do this, or I just do that, or I keep my mouth shut, or make sure dinner is right on time, or whatever. If I just, whatever the thing is, there's always something else you need to be doing to supposedly make things better. And it's not going to get better. It's not going to get better. You have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, make a plan, and get the hell out of the abusive relationship. And have enough dignity and self-respect. And it's not easy. It's never easy. What did they say in the past? Anything worth having is not easy. Yeah. We have a choice. We have free will. God gave us free will. And a lot of people are making the easy choice to stay in the abusive relationship. And that's just not my character. I can't do that. I can't do that anymore. And you shouldn't either. Think enough of yourself to do the right thing. Y'all have a great day. Bye for now.